about the fact that he keeps the 1-game lead, as we're saying. And you and I predicted heading in that even with the pre-match chess.com model saying that Bullet was a coin flip, we felt like
are we going to see it again?
Well, we saw it again, and they missed Queen A5 again. Oh my gosh. Is this like a gambit that we're just not privy to? Like a top-level gambit?
Yeah, I'm now very curious. And also I'm wondering, are they not looking at the games, right? This game must have just kind of slipped by both of them. And you can't check every game, but it's like clearly this one didn't really make the review because that 94 Queen A5, unless we got to recalibrate the engine or something there, Danny, that's a double question mark. And, Queen A5 was there.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to do a deep dive game review after this. I'm just fascinated to know, or maybe we'll talk to one of them in the post-game interview and say, hey, are you aware that you played this opening twice and that both times Queen A5 was possible? What do you understand as a 2,800 player that we don't? It'll be fun to see. Maybe we'll just ask them.
Yep. I'm sure that they could both comment on that. Maybe it's just been a blind spot. If they missed it once, you're not playing that position and looking for a new move. You're just like, okay, let me play the same theory as last time, especially because I will say it does seem like Magnus has looked a little bit at the line in general, right? He's played it differently.
Yeah.
He very specifically played queen to c3 instead of the natural h4, which was met by queen f6. So this is like screaming as if Magnus has briefly looked at this, improved the line, because look at how the engine prefers white compared to the last time they played.
Well, let's back up then and say again why we're going to ask the players in the interview. We'll analyze it real quick, because I think at this point, if we can get them to reveal some high-level prep, because either 94 is just not a blunder and that this sacrifice of a pawn is by design.
Well, Danny, let's not make the mistake. Let's not give these guys too much credit here. Got to trust ourselves. You and me, buddy. That's a blunder, and we believe it, and we stand by it.
No, but what you're saying is this position here is being played by Magnus in a way that makes you feel like he's looked at it before. And if he's looked at this before, that means he's maybe looked at 94 before. You get what I'm saying? So
no.
the mind right now.
I'm saying that I think he somehow skipped ahead of 94 and only looked at the position after he played c3, queen f6, and he was like, no, let me improve this. Queen c3, that's the move. And he just blew by the opening. Didn't even think there could be anything wrong with it. That's my best guess, okay. But as you said, love to chat to either one of these players, whoever wins this match, because they'll be able to shed some light for good.
All right. Well, shout out to production. We're gonna want to have a 3-cam game review in a rare interview. We normally focus on non X's and O's related questions, but I think we have to ask these guys about this. So, all right, okay, what do we got here? Another weird position where the computer loved queen f6, but that was not found by Fabiano. I like e5 too, though.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, no principles apply. There's nothing you can go off of. White has a queen running around the board, a rook on h3, no pieces developed, no semblance of king safety. Black, meanwhile, has one knight developed. This is breaking every chess principle and barely hanging together for both sides. So this is a truly wild position.
Yeah. Okay. Well, oh, my castle's long. I love it. That's like a puzzle right there. Not that it wins material, but I love the castle's long with tempo before picking up the d4 pawn.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. Now Magnus gets back his pawn, and white is better.
I mean, the bishop on b7 is just really bad. I guess I'm looking at bishop c4. Maybe you can put that bishop back on b3. The other idea is to swing the rook over to b3. It looks like a bit of a weird move, but it kind of forces the correction of the structure, which is really in white's favor, I think.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Magnus does. White is up a pawn, and it's a good pawn. It's a powerful one on d6, so you complete your development. You might even have ideas. Okay, queen g5 stops. I was going to say, you might even have ideas of trying to use the diagonal.
Yeah,
what, fact,
f4, queen takes g4, rook g1. So this is what he's thinking about, and I don't think there's any weird bishop g2, so I just don't think you can take it at all. So that was kind of his trap, I think, with bishop d3.
Yeah, it was a nice trap too. I think Fabi kind of head in hand there, a little bit frustrated, probably just flat out missed that f4 meant that the g4 pawn was poisoned, because when you play a4, it wasn't just that you attack the queen, you open up the queen's defense of g1. So I think it's possible Fabi just missed that, and now Magnus is really in control.
Yep. Yeah, okay, so a4 is, like, especially if we saw rook a1 there, a4 would almost certainly get played. It's not that it's a great move, but like it opens up the white king a little bit, and white at this point is looking probably for any trade, rooks, queen. Most of the endgames look phenomenal. I'm wondering about queen c3 as a method to pick up the a pawn.
Or force the queens off the board. And I really like that idea. I think if you're Fabi, yeah, exactly. You'd rather give up that pawn than trade into the lost ending, but now you're down yet another one. What is going on here? Apparently
yeah,
rook
it's
a8.
Very difficult. Very difficult to follow.
Very difficult to evaluate what's going on here. But black does have real counterplay on the a file if the rook comes to a8, and it's happening.
Yeah, the king's going to escape back to the middle, but for a position where you're down, a pawn and kind of don't have a good position, I feel like at least there's some ideas.
Yeah. Queen to a6, bishop d3.
Okay, rook e7. I mean, there's no threats. There's queen a1's nothing. Queen e1's covered.
Yeah, everybody is happy. Everybody's protecting everybody. And black has to be careful. The back rank problems are there because the bishop is guarding this h7 square. So
rook b4. Yeah, nice. The rook b4 doesn't work because of exactly that.
Yep. Okay, bishop to d5, though, overwhelms the queen.
Oh, bishop h7.
You got to move.
Bishop h7
Oh,
over.
no. Oh, no. He had to move. Didn't have enough